coverage of the NFL, South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium.
And Marcus Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The tight end Henry here in motion.
And the drive starts with a carry by Stevenson.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Throwing Jones. Flushed out right. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Nick Folk for the point after. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10.
Their 25-yard line.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Watch out now. 50 Fury.
Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Pats are going to take possession of the football. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased.
And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown from 4 yards out. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Pulls it in at the 13. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And the Patriots are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. After the sack on first down, Jones, he's got it complete to Aguilar. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Stevenson.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Again, Stevenson.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots.
Ramondre Stevenson.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Patriots take a 3-touchdown lead. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come and have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Ready?
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Raheem Mostert, 75 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Straight ahead at Stevenson.
They find some open field here. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
58 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Nothing fancy there. A little smash mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
Now Jones.
Looking for Thornton, and he's got him. Touchdown, New England.
A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Oh, such great concentration. They're going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Taken for...
And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back near his goal line, here's Tua. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
On the set.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Quad red. Ready?
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ready? Ready.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Here's a toss play right to Mostert. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
And going deep for Hill. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Jones. Got a man open, that's Devontae Parker, complete. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. Here's Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Now you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Down.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out up.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle, 77 yards. And the Dolphins get a bit closer.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Pats at the line ready to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. They'll try and throw for it here.
He's got his man, Thornton.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the and he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton
On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Patriots are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Now Folk for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go now.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Field, black. Cut, cut.
Tua to try again on second down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first two quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Jones now on 1st and 10. It's complete left side to Aguilar. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now Jones on 1st down. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
This is Smith with a grab. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. Jalen Waddle. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Dolphins come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. The last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And this is secured by the Patriots. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over. That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Tua's throws taken in by Waddle. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
22 middle. Cover 38. Ready?
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Tua. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Complete. It's Henry. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Up the middle, here's Stevenson.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Here's Jones on 3rd down.
Checking this down to Stevenson.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
They'll run for it. It's Stevenson.
And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd and 1, Tua on the right side. Open is Gesicki.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
52 blaster. Check white. Ultra. Go ultra. Set.
Up the middle they go with Mostert.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. On play action, here's Tua.
And it'll be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And the Pats are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
The Pats at the line ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones.
They set up the screen for Stevenson.
Room here to run. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. Slant around and he finds Thornton. New England on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones. Pressure comes and down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Jones throwing on 4th down. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Back to throw. Jones looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Partner, it's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones.
That's to Aguilar. Touchdown, Patriots.
A 5-yard touchdown catch.
And the Patriots have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Here we go.
First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10.
Down. Shot. 17.
Here's Mostert.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Cycles. Opposite. Green.
One more time with Mostert.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Black shot. Set.
Tua going to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan.
And the Patriots are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here, because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way, as we saw there.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
And it's caught at the 10.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.